Yeah. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. All praises and all honor and all glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakak. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and do well. The other apostles in Connecticut, to the bishops, the priests, the teachers, the evangelists, and the four winds, preaching in truth and sincerity, risking your lives more now than ever, the hopeful elect, the elect, Shalom. To the Israelite foreigners, the phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel through your father and have come back to the fold. Shalom. To your sisters, you Akwathium, who listen and learn under your husband, which is your spiritual leader, with meekness and with silence. This your brother Aram Yahawada with the lesson. And this is a News Weekly. And it says, warned China about U.S. nuclear missile testing Pentagon. So basically it's just saying that the Pentagon had to warn them because they were doing the tests. So they didn't want China to think that it was the real thing, ultimately, right? And this was today, right? Right? This is Wednesday, today. So if you can see Wednesday the 13th, right? November 13th, yeah. Wednesday, November 13th, right? Which is today. And they warned China about their testing. So they, of course, China didn't think it was the real thing, the real McCoy, so to speak, And, so you can get hasty and the fingers get to, you know, fingers get to moving. It says the Pentagon confirmed to News Weekly that it warned China in advance about a test launch of United States nuclear missile that was fired into the Pacific Ocean last week. So they were saying it happened last week, but this thing was printed today, I guess. This was okay. It's a base in California. Yep, there it is. Showing that they shot it off. Right. Late night. Right. And then there it is. There's that nuclear silo, right? Which is the arrows. Right. Right. Because what America has their arrows too, right? That's why the Lord spoke of you know, in the scriptures, the Lord spoke of that, the Lord said what? The earth reels like a drunk drunkard. It sways like a hut in the wind. So heavy upon it is the guilt, right? Hey, man, the guilt is heavy upon this world, man, right? Babylon the Great has put a spirit within this world that the guilt is very heavy in this world of its rebellion, that it falls never to rise again, right? Which there will never be another heathen nation to ever rule again, right? The earth abides forever, right? It's not talking about the whole entire earth, right? Because heaven is going to be on earth, right? So it's not talking about, um, you know, earth all wiped together all, as it is and never rise again. It's just basically talking about the heathen nations will never reign again. They will never rule over the world, right? Because the Lord gave every nation their opportunity to rule, and you're insufficient. You're right. You you're inequipped to rule the world, right? So it says the earth swaggers like a drunk. It trembles like a tent in a storm, right? And this is talking about the ICBM missiles, right, being shot, right? Because America has their missiles too. So being that Russia and all these other countries have missiles, this is what is going to allow the Earth to be to move, going back and forth, right? Like a drunk person, right? Like basically, like you said, like a person that's trying to, get their balance, and they're swaying kind of almost like back and forth, trying to not fall in a sense, you know, trying to keep their balance, but they're too far gone, right? Too far um, inebriated, right? And that's this place inebriated with the guilt, like I said, the sin, the transgressions, right? Of this place is very heavy, and it says it's like it trembles like a tent in the wind in the storm. It falls and will not rise again, for the guilt of it is rebellion is very heavy, right? And of course, right here it says, in the King James, it says, the earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard, and shall be removed like a cottage. And a cottage is like a bed that kind of folds up. Um, Depending on where you got your cottage at. I don't know, my grandmother used to have one, and it used to have wheels on it. You fold it up, and then the bottom had wheels, and you could push it out, and then you flip it open, and somebody can lay on it. A cottage, it could just, it was like it was used for guests. When guests come over, and that's ultimately what Esau is. He's like he's like a guest that wore out a stay, man. So now you just got to remove the cottage out the way. Like, hey, there ain't no more, just no more days, right? You can't stay one more hour, right? That's why you're gonna be destroyed within an hour, not one more hour, right? So it says it's like a cottage, and the transgressions, right, or the guilt, right? Same thing it was saying, the guilt of it thereof shall be heavy upon it, and it shall fall and not rise again. So basically talking about you heathen, you heathen nations will never rule over the earth again. The Lord is you're gonna serve your 1,000 years of slavery. The Lord is gonna allow whoever the Lord appoints as your king over your nation. So you will have your king, but then you still will serve and pay tribute unto the nation of Israel, unto Yahweh, Shai, and King David, right? Giving praise unto Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai, right? You'll be required to keep the high holy days and all our days and everything, right? You're going to know righteousness and obedience, right? Right. So this is Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verse 4. From one generation passeth away, right? People live, you know, and they died, right? All the way from the time of Adam and Eve, right? The Adam and Eve, right, ain't here. They died. They lived their thing, which really technically was one day, He lived a day, right? Give or take a couple years, but he was pretty close to one day, right? Because 1,000 years is one day to the Most High, and Adam came pretty close to living about 1,000 years, almost roughly, give or take. So you know how we are, as Israel, we over exaggerate things sometimes. So I mean, and so I mean, so when you think about it, give or take, he lived about 1,000 years. So 1,000 years is a day. So really close, you can get technical if you want to, but the Lord said, if you eat of this fruit, in that day you will die. So if you think about that's nor here nor there. But just you know, everybody, the generations, they live, they die, they live, they die. But as you understand it, there's a such thing called reincarnation or regeneration, right? However you wanna, you know, say it, which is the same thing. Re meaning again, carnate or carnate or carnate, which basically meaning like carcass, but not carcass as far as dead, right? Because that's how you call it a carcass, because it's the flesh, right? To reincarnate, yeah, means back in the flesh, right? You know, so basically, generation from one generation passed away, and another generation cometh, right? So basically, it's still just reincarnation, whether you accept it, believe it or not. But people live, they die, you come back, whatever, however you look at it, right? But the earth abides forever. So this is what we're saying. The earth is going to abide forever. This is what I'm basically saying. This is what the Bible's saying, what the Father's saying, the Son is saying, the Holy Spirit, the angels. They're not going to disagree with what's here, right? We're not going to say, oh, because of the nukes and oh my God, the earth is going to be gone. No, no. According to Scripture, the earth shall abide forever. We have to lean on that and stand on that, right? That's it. And then, just to keep it going, just to understand, get you to understand, says the sun also riseth, and the sun goeth down, and hasteth to his place where he arose. Right. So the sun is a slave, and ultimately that's what's going to happen to you guys. You're gonna hasten to the place that you were meant to be. You were meant to be in servitude under the Israelites. You're gonna serve your 1,000 years of slavery, and you're gonna pay tribute and honor and glory unto the Israelites and their power, their God. You're not going to write the Moabite stone where you say you defeated the God of David, which is Yahweh. You're never going to get to boast on that type of thing ever again, man. Right? Yeah. So this is Revelation chapter 21, verse 7. As he that overcometh shall inherit all things. Right? Dealing with the kingdom of heaven, man. Right? The earth was made for Yasha Allah's sake, man. Right? So you're gonna inherit all things, man. Dealing with the wisdom first and foremost, the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, but seeking ye first the kingdom of heaven, and all other things be added unto you. Right? That's what he's saying. All things will be added unto you, and slaves, right, are going to be added unto you. Right? So it says, and I will be his power, right? The Most High Yahweh, and he shall be my son, right? We're going to be, adopted, you know, again, right? Back again to be sons again, right? Not adopted in the way that you think in this world. It means to be reconciled, right? It says, but the fear, fearful, but the fearful and unbelieving, right? That's a lot of you Jakes, man. A lot of you Jakes are fearful, and you are very unbelieving in the thing that we tell you, that we're the Israelites. Though you see Deuteronomy 28:68. I mean, who else could that be? All while you were young, all while you're when it didn't, which proved that, like, vocab and all these devils, right? These self-proclaimed so-called white people don't love you, is all why slave ships wasn't beneficial to you. It was, yeah, you guys were on slave ships. Yeah, yeah, and you were slaves, and you were slave, and they made all these slave movies over and over again to remind you you wasn't nothing, and this is what happened to you, and there's nothing you could do about it, right? But now you go, oh, wait a minute, slave ships. Oh, that's us. Bible, Deuteronomy 28:68. Oh, yeah, oh, that's us. Oh, yeah, yeah. And now, like, everybody's bringing out this wordplay that they were saying that actually what's her name, Wendy Houston came up with, said, talking about receipts. See, now we have these receipts, right, that say we're the people. Oh no, it ain't. That's not talking about that. Now that's not talk. Wait a minute. Now we got something to be. Yeah, you know what? You damn right. We came off slave ships. Right, I got the receipt that showed that we're the people. Now it don't mean all these things, right? You know what I'm saying? Which show they don't love you. Because when it benefit them to talk crazy, to say you were nothing, you were nothing, you were nothing, you're nothing, that's what they said. But now you say, hey, we were on this. Oh, you know what? That doesn't mean you. That the whole thing. Now you got people standing up trying to say, and you got even some of our people coming out with, where are the slave ships and what happened, and how can you prove that we really were slaves? Well, why wasn't that ever the narrative before the truth was, magnified in the way that it is? I've never once in my life ever heard not one so-called black person, not one so-called white person say, well, maybe the ships are fake. Maybe you always was here. But if we were always here, or there ain't no ships, then that means we were the indigenous people. That means you still owe us. That means you still owe us reparations. So which one is it? And you still don't want to give us that either. Which I don't want it, because we're waiting on Yahweh Shai. He already redeemed us through his blood. Right? So we don't need your money. But if you're gonna say one thing and then turn around and say one thing has to be something, then that means we need to be able to own our own casinos. Something. But you're not trying to do that either, right? Yeah, I mean, see how all the catch 22s and the two face and the talking out the side of your neck with a double mouth. You're like, hey, you got a forked tongue, like Gad used to say, right? The so-called Native American. You're a snake. You talk with a forked tongue, right? And that's all you ever do, man. A bunch of madness, a bunch of smooth words and madness. So you don't love us. So, and I mean, enough of that. I was ranting a little bit, but come on, man. You got to think, man. Somewhere along the line, you got to start thinking for yourself, right? You got to let the freaking white man think for you for the rest of your life. Now all of a sudden, well, I don't know. Well, what if they never? I had some nigga. Get the man. All right, bro. You're full of it, man. So it says, yeah. It says, because they're fearful, but the fearful and unbelieving and abominable, right? Because a lot of you like to deal with the guy with the guy type situation, and the female with the female. And hey, today, You want to know what I freaking seen today? I seen a chick with breast, everything with a full beard, walking proud, smiling. Hey man, this is come on. This is hell, man. You're in hell. Abominables and murderers, man. You got all these talk. Oh, you got killed this, and this is the stuff that get lifted up, man. Right? You even have your baby mama proud because yeah, I'm talking to. They call him murder, whatever. He's this dude is. You know what I'm saying this is murder ace in the hood. Like okay, and then it means absolutely nothing to me. But these are the things that's lifted up, man. Jake's that murder and hey Esau, hey he's murdering all the time, man. He's murder. This is on the news. This is live thing. You know what's happening in Gaza, but nothing's happening. These things are put on a pedestal, man. It's madness, man. And whoremongers, yeah, you know, everybody talk. They want to be a pimp and all this other stuff, man. All this stuff. These guys and sorcerers, right? Right. The brother put on a lesson with some chick was talking about some forgot the name of it, but basically where these chicks are trying to bring something back where there were so-called abused women, and these abused women were poisoning their men, which really goes into you being a witch, man, right? So you know you're sorcerers and idolaters and liars, man. That's all. That's this place, man. You put everything on a freaking pedestal, and you're really just liars, man. At the end of the day, and you love to dwell in it, but that's okay. Shall shall have their part in the lake that burneth with fire. Right? See, so you've seen them testing off those the nuclear missiles, and they're testing it off, and they have to warn China so China don't ah hit that button and think that it was an act of war. Right? They had to warn them, hey, look, this is just a test. We're not going to war right now, but we're testing it. We're sharpening the instruments, so to speak, right? We're sharpening that tool, right? The condition, right? Conditioning it, sharpening it, right? But that's the thing that's gonna these nukes really making things real to and fro is gonna turn America into the lake of fire, man. Right? This place, Babylon the Great, the daughter of Babylon, is going to be a lake of fire, which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death, right? So a lot of you jakes are going to fall into that second death, man, right? Yeah, so this is Ezekiel chapter 21, verse 8. Again, the word of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakal came unto me, saying, Son of man, prophesied and say, Thus saith Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakal Kodash, say a sword, right? Them ICBM missiles. So ultimately, that's what we're telling you, man. Those ICBM missiles are coming, man. It's going to turn this place, America, Babylon the Great, into the lake that burneth with fire, man. Right? Right? It's going to melt with fervent heat, man. It's going to melt the elements. The elements shall melt with fervent heat. And when you're melting something, right? Especially something like that, I don't know if you ever seen when you weld. It's I used to learn how to do welding when I was in high school, and they were saying make sure you make a puddle, right? Make sure you make your puddle, and when you get the puddle, you basically you lead it, and that's you know basically what you understand. Basically like a lake of fire, right? you know, I don't know if you understand that. I wonder if I could find something so you can understand it. Like that puddle, that's what reminds me of the lake of fire right there. Yeah, so this is the only thing I could see that makes sense. So this is a piece of metal. See how much as he's moving it, it's actually melting the metal, and it's a literally a puddle of of metal as it's burning, right? It's literally melting as you can see. And that's part of welding, and it's melting that puddle. So when you're talking about the lake of fire and it burning all the elements, right, right, and that metal is what an element, right? Here's another one with I kind of you know here you go where I kind of seen where it kind of shows you how the puddling goes and it's melting that element. See welding puddle, right? And as you see, it's putting the torch down the hot part of the weld. And it's hot. It's very, very hot. So you see, and then showing you how it's going to make a puddle. And this is how you weld and how you basically you seal it shut. See, as he's going, it's melting the element, and then he's moving it, and see, it's just bubbling. It's really, really super hot, right? And then usually you do in a C, right, or like a half a C. You kind of you kind of rotate your hand a little bit to kind of you know um, get it into these different way that the little welding spots. See, and it's showing you how it's leaving the part where it's welded, and as you can see, they're getting these weapons sharpened, right? So yes, the Son of Man prophesy and say, "Thus saith Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai Bashem Kodash, a sword, a sword is sharpened," right? So it's ultimately what America's doing, right? I guess it was printed today, but they said it happened this past weekend, right? So I don't know if it was Saturday or Sunday, whenever they did it, but it was this past weekend that they were doing it, but it got printed out today, at least on News Weekly. It was told that they basically had to warn China before doing it, so they don't think that it was live. That they don't take this exercise for something real, right? So or that sharpening, right? Getting it prepared, sharpening a sword. A sword is sharpened and also furbished, right? Mean it's pristine. It's ready to go. Furbished, ready to go, and it is sharpened to make a sore slaughter, right? So once those missiles hit, rolling the planet, the Earth, to and fro like a drunker, hey, it's gonna make a sore slaughter. It is furbished, man. It is ready to go, man. It's ready to go. That it may glitter, right? And you see that bright light, and you can see it glowing. It's gonna be like it's glittering. It's gonna be shining. You're gonna see all these missiles being shot and sparkling. It's gonna glitter, man. You're gonna see it, right? Should we then make mirth, right? So should you be going, oh my God, Trump won, and oh yeah, let's go celebrate and party and let's whatever madness you're doing, let's go celebrate Christmas and Halloween and what's coming up, Thanksgiving. Let's celebrate. What I mean, all these things is, man. Hey, should you then make mirth? It's your birthday. Oh my, it's my birthday. I'm gonna party, right? This is not that time. They're literally sharpening the sword. I don't know if you know or not that the missiles are a sword, right? And It says, oh yeah, should make and it condemneth condemneth contendeth the rod of my son, right? Which is Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai is gonna direct this, into, World War III, into his punishment, into his rulership, right? As every tree, right? To all nations, right? Because the nations are known as trees. I mean, that's a whole nother lesson. But yeah, that's what it's talking about. All these nations are gonna come, to get their judgment, is ultimately what it's saying. Yeah, so this is 2 Peter chapter 2, verse 6. And turning the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah into ashes, condemning them, right? So basically, condemn, same thing what said the Lord has, right? So he's going to give it to the condemnation, or I don't know, I didn't say it right, but basically the same thing as condemning it, right? Um, unto his son, right? Which is the judgment, right? Right? To judgment them with an overthrow, making them an example. So it was example what happened to Sodom and Gomorrah and the 5 neighboring cities, right? Unto those that after, right? And America's definitely after that time period. England, was Israel, right? With all these pink parades that they have around the world, technically. But, America and Israel always comes to mind when I think of the pink parades and judgment that has to come to that, right? And the Lord said it was an example of those that after should live ungodly. So it's an ungodly thing, man, right? And the deliver just Lot, man, which a righteous man means righteous Lot, right? To say a person is just, it's basically saying he's righteous. So it's a just Lot or righteous Lot, however to get you to understand it. Just Lot with the who was vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked, which is meaning their mannerism, man. You don't have to speak, right? Say anything. Your mannerisms says a lot. The way you run your country, the way you run in your government, the way you pass laws, legislations, and doing all these different wicked things, these ungodly things when you do these things, right? So yeah, so this is Isaiah chapter 3, verse 9. The show or shoe of them of their countenance, the show of their countenance or shoe of their countenance, right? Doeth what? Witness against them. See, you don't have to say nothing, right? If your countenance witness against you, what is that? What is this means? Does it mean it's actually talking to you? Because a witness is someone who actually says, "Hey, I seen such and such. This person did this and that. I seen it. I witnessed it. I saw it with my eyes." But it said your countenance, right? So how can your look, the way you look, bear witness against you, right? Or what you do, right? It's not just the way you look; it's your behavior, your countenance, your behavior, the way you look, the way you behave. And when you look at this place where a man can wear a dress and a woman can dress like a man, and you can do whatever manner of things that you want to do in this place, what is that? What is that showing? That's your countenance without saying a thing, without saying one word. You don't have to say a thing. Your countenance. But then also what? They pass legislations and laws and saying that this is, hey, it's all legal, right? Now you can get what you can you can get married, and when you get married, guess what you have when you get married? Witnesses. You got to have witnesses. So this is the thing that the things are being witnessed against you. So it says in the show or shew of their continents doeth witness against them, and they declare their sin as Sodom. That's this place, man. All right? They hide it not. See, when you pass legislations, laws, you're not hiding it, right? Woe, wait. What do woe means? Judgment, death, destruction, weeping and gnashing of teeth. Ultimately, the ICBM missiles, right? Those nuclear missiles reel to and fro the earth. When America's shooting their missiles, and Russia and all these other places, China, Iran, Iraq, North Korea, and everybody's shooting off all their missiles, and it's allowing the earth to reel to and fro like a drunkard, right? Because the iniquity, right, is heavy upon it, or the guilt, right? You're guilty. You're guilty, and your guiltiness is so heavy that this is what it's going to take to clean this place up, right? So it says, they hide it not. Woe, destruction, death, pestilence, death by wild beast, right? Weeping and gnashing of teeth by the ICBM missiles unto their souls, for they have rewarded evil unto what? Themselves, right? Because it was an example of them that should live ungodly after this place have already been destroyed. After Sodom and Gomorrah already been destroyed, it was already an example for them that afterwards should live ungodly. So now, afterwards, you knew this place got destroyed. Even the scientists went out to that place where Sodom and Gomorrah was at and tested the ground and saying this ground is, you cannot grow anything on it, and it's just sulfur. Nothing there. You cannot, no one lives on that land anymore. Right? So that it's done. Right? So you know about it, right? So you knew better. It was definitely an example. So it actually happened. And the scientists trust the science, or your scientists went out there and said Sodom and Gomorrah was right here. It was definitely here, and it was definitely a high intense heat that changed the soil, right? So, hey, yeah. So this is
countenance.
Talking about the countenance, right? The countenance, a person's face or facial expression, right? Countenance. Let's go into some of these other ones. Appearance. See, right?
Aspect.
Your aspect. See, person's aspect, right? Right. Right. Let's see. What else was okay? Visage. Yeah, that's a good one. But I think the appearance aspect is the best one. Mean. Person's look or manner, especially one particular their character or mood. Wow, see? Indicating their character or mood. Yeah, so that's that's actually the best one. This one. Mean. Right? Which goes into your continents. That's right. So this is showing your mannerism, your character, your mood, showing how you behave. So, you know what I mean? And you're behaving like Sodom and Gomorrah. No wonder why the Lord said that this was a place of your bondage, which is Egypt, and it's also spiritually what Egypt, but it's also spiritually what Sodom. All right. Yeah. So this is Isaiah chapter 34, verse 5. For my sword, see, the ICBM missiles are swords, and the Lord said this is His sword. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. So the ICBM missiles go out of the atmosphere and come back down the atmosphere, blow up in the air, shoots the fire down, and blow this fire that sucks the oxygen out of the air, shoot forth this heat that will burn the elements. Kind of like that, like I was showing you how that when the welder is welding, it's a way that you're supposed to have that a puddle. So it makes sense that it will be, um, that lake of fire, right? It says, so for my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, which means feast your eyes, look, pay attention. It shall come down upon Idumea, which is, a Greek form or way of saying Edom, right? Esau, Edom, Idawam, right? Esau, the true red man, right? Because the self-proclaimed so-called white man, his blood shows forth through his skin, right? You slap him on the face, and oh, he's so pale, but that paleness turns red when he's angry. Hey, right? He could even be having relations with you, and he turns red, right? Which lets you know you Israelite women that having sex, you're having sex with the devil, right? And hey, you're joining hand in hand with him. Hey, you will not go unpunished for being with the devil, man. Hey, the Most High is, he's ultimately, it's a heavy judgment for that. And upon the people of my curse, see, and to be pale skin with, with no what do you call it, melanin, like that is a curse, man. What did you think that he put on um Cain when he killed Abel? He took his pigment. That was the curse of Cain, right? Right? That mark, the mark of Cain was really, it was his pigment being taken, which ultimately is a curse. So, like, let me clarify it, right? You know what I mean? Same thing way Esau was born. Esau Ashashua, right? Wasted away as he, but he was red all over like an hairy garment. Not that he was a hairy garment or hairy like a hairy garment, but he was red alike or similar to a hairy garment, one that was dyed red, right? So his blood showed forth through his skin, right? Edom, Idawam, and upon the people of my curse to judgment. See, and ultimately this is all in retrospect, all for his judgment, right? The sword of Yahweh, see, letting you know that the ICBM missiles are the Lord's. It's a sword, whether you know it or not. The sword of Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai, is filled with blood. It is made fat with the fatness and with the blood of lambs, right? So you Israelites are very much partakers of this kingdom, and you don't want to let it go. And not to mention, you said you want to let Yahweh Shai's blood be upon you, that you take it, and then even your children, So not knowing through the third and fourth generation, you are your children. Hey, now you have to pay. You know what I mean? Time is up. Payment time is about here, right? Right along with you and the goats, right? Esau, Edom, and you other nations, and with the fatness and the kidneys of yeah, with the goats is really Esau, right? And the fatness of the rams, right? The other nations are rams, right? Right. The goats is Esau. The lambs is Jake, Israel. The goats is Esau, and you rams are the other nations. For Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai have a sacrifice in Basra, which is America, Babylon the Great. Right. It's another form of 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 spiritual um formality of this place, man, because of their behavior, their continents, right? Like we just read, right? Because this is a place of the self-proclaimed so-called white man, which is really Esau, Edom, and that he can get away with his hypocrisy and racism or hate for you Israelites and for all nations, really, right? They do that pretty much for all nations, but the main thing is you Israelites, because a lot of that's smoke and mirrors, because they're joined together with the other nations to keep you Israelites low, keep you in a you know keep you in the ghettos, the vadios, and the reservations. But they hate do exist, right? So the Most High hates too. So the Lord sacrifice. The Lord has a Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai have the sacrifice in Basra, right, which is America, Babylon the Great, right, which is spiritually Egypt, spiritually Sodom, a great slaughter. See, right? See, a sore slaughter, a great slaughter in the land of what? Idumea, right? Which is a chief place of what? Of Esau, Edom, right? So that's how you know. Yeah, so this is Second Peter chapter 3, verse 10. But the day of Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai, will come as a thief in the night, right? Because really, it's really Yahweh Shai, but we know that Yahweh has given him the authority. So this is going to be put into the hands of Yahweh Shai to judge. So, but Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, which is the Father, giving him the power to do so. So, but the day of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai will come as a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall what? Pass away, right? Whirl to and fro like a drunkard, right? All these things burning up very hot, burning the elements, right? With a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. See, like I was showing you that puddle when you had to get the puddle, and you could see the puddle moved as he moved, and that's what it being that lake of fire, right? And it says, with fervent heat, the earth also and the works that are therein shall be burnt up, seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved. What manner of see, like basically saying the same thing what it was saying. Should we then make mirth? All these, the Lord is about to shoot these missiles on this place. The sword is sharpened. The Lord's sword is bathed in heaven. Should we then make mirth? And this is what this basically what this is saying too. Seeing that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of person ought ye be in all holy conversation and godliness, man? Should you be making mirth, or should you be in holy conversation and in godliness? Or should you just be making mirth? Right? Yeah, you can't be sad and all the time. Of course, depression is very real. So we there's. I mean, this is a heavy thing. I mean, it comes upon us heavy, man. But hey, man, knowing that the Bible is true and real, hey, man, it lightens your spirit. You know what I mean? Doing the work lightens your spirit. Like, you know what I mean? I was kind of dragging all day, but like right now, I feel good. As I'm doing the lesson, I feel good. It really it lifts up your spirit. Looking for and hasting unto the coming of the day of power, Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai, Bashem Rakakadash, wherein the heavens, right, this earth, this rulership, not the earth, but the rulership that's upon the earth, right, being on fire, right, your rulership is going to be on fire, man. America's going to shoot their missiles. Russia's going to shoot theirs. All these other people going to shoot theirs. The earth is going to reel to and fro like a drunkard. All these swords that are sharpened and ready and furbished, ready to go. Hey, it's going to happen, right? All right. It says, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements melt with fervent heat. Wait, maybe I need to keep going. Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for what? A new heaven and a new earth, right? Which basically just means kainos, a refreshing. It's going to be a refreshing to the earth. A new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness. See, the world that you know it right now, or how it's ran, the pollution, the GMO foods, the goddamn what do you call it? Chemtrails and all this other madness in there. And that's here, the plastic that's bigger than Texas. And that's just what they tell you, right? That's in the ocean. Has to be dissolved away, right? Yeah, so this is Isaiah chapter 54, verse 16. Behold, which means feature eyes, look, pay attention. I have created the smith, which meaning the, the creator. You have a watchsmith, a locksmith, a goldsmith, right? These are things that it's their profession, right? But you have the thing called Project Paperclip, where they divided the scientists, and half went to Russia and the other half went to America, which kicked off the space race, which was the downfall of Esau this in general, right? Especially America, right? During that time, because no, because Russia fell too. They had their great their financial issue for a while, right? Back at what time of the 80s, right? That their financial collapse, so they went down, and now America's about to have theirs, and go down, and which is going to wipe out the entire Edomite um, nation, the rulership, right? Being what their scientists have created out of Teman, right? Your smart men of Teman, right? Have created, right? Your so-called Germans, which are Temanites, right? Which are Edomites, that bloweth the coal, right? And what do you do with coal? Coal catches fire. And what do you do when you blow on the coal? It intensifies the heat, right? Right? And that's what coal and the fire, right? And it intensifies the heat, the fire that's in the heat and the coal, which there's nothing that burns hotter than these ICBM missiles, right? Because the only thing they can equate these two is the center of the sun, but they've never been to the center of the sun. So how hot do these things really burn? You're talking about the Lord is saying it's going to melt the elements with fervent heat, right? Right? The Lord's talking about it's going to wipe this place out till it's a desert. So there's nothing, nothing's going to be perceived that it was ever there, right? It's going to wipe it completely out. Like you'd be lucky to see a pebble. You'd be lucky to see anything. It's going to melt the elements with fervent heat, right? And that that bringeth forth the instruments, right? And so you had to create those things, then the missile silos, this and that, so forth. You had to know exactly how much jet fuel or whatever, however they do it, for the distance, right, and the trajectory in which it should go. So it's a whole work with it, as far as the instruments. And now they got GPS systems, and so it's going to be on point, right, for his work. And I have created the waster to destroy. So the Lord said, hey, look, I created Esau, Edom, just for this moment, right? Matter of fact, let me give one more, and I'm gonna close out. Yeah, this is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3, and this is the New Living translation, or New Living Version. It says, do not let anyone deceive you in any way, for the day will not come until the rebellion occurs, right? And the man of sin, or the man of lawlessness, is revealed. So the rebellion is going to start occurring, right? Pushing the charagma, right? The crox graphel, right? The MOTB. That's the ultimate rebellion, right? And you're going to see that the self-proclaimed so-called white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of, that he is the man of lawlessness, right? And you're going to see him being revealed, the man of doom to destruction. So, hey, it's only right that he has to be destroyed, man. You can't make a crooked thing straight. The Lord made him to be the wicked, and you cannot undo that, man. Right? And it proves it by passing laws that, that these, a man can marry, one of the same, and a woman can do the same thing, one of the same, what she is, and what he is, right? So, and it shows you that. It says, do not be fooled by what they say. See? And then ultimately we're in the time where they're going to say all manner of different things, man. Right? Trust the science, do all these different things. Right? Trust the science, do all these things, right? It says, do not be fooled by what they say, for that day will not come until there is a great rebellion against the Most High, Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, man. And that like I said, there's no greater rebellion than pushing forth the Kragma. Now, of course, they pass the laws that man can marry, one that looks like him, that's like him, same like him, and then a woman can marry same like her, and they can marry your horse, your car. You can do whatever, every manner of wickedness you want to do. Worship whatever God you want to worship, right? Though this is supposed to be a God-fearing country, right? Because it should be only one belief system here, right? You should not be able to be a witch or or Satanist or nothing. You should none of that should fly here, right? If that's what you really were. But we know that you're not. You have to open that avenue so there could be Halloweens and the Christmases and things like that. So it opens, you know, it leaves room for too much room for error, right? It leaves a lot of room for error, right? A lot of room for people to do what thy wilt, right? And it says and the man of lawlessness, right? You do all that is completely lawless, right? Completely lawless. You know, try to put you know, a micro C hip in a man's right hand or forehead or left hand and forehead, wherever it may be at you in your body. It doesn't matter. So play a deadly game and win a deadly prize, man. So it's all good. The one who brings destruction. So everywhere, going back to Habakkuk 2, right? It says he is as death, right? He never a keeper at home, and he is as death. So wherever he goes, destroys people. He, you know, brings his military and gains the world by the sword. And that ultimate sword is going to be the ICBM missiles, which their own scientists have created, right? He's going to bring death, man. He's going to bring destruction with him. So that's ultimately what that is. It says go to King James. It says King James Bible, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there be a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of what? Perdition, which perdition meaning destruction, right there, right? So he's the son of destruction, and that's what's coming. So with all that, I'm going to give all praises and all honor and all glory unto Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem, Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and do well. They are the apostles in Connecticut, to the bishops, the priests, the teachers, the evangelists, and the four winds preaching in truth and sincerity, risking your lives more now than ever, the hopeful elect, Shalom, to the Israelite foreigners whose phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel through your father and have come back to the fold. Shalom. To your sisters, you Akwathium, who listen and learn under your husband, which is your spiritual leader, with meekness and with silence and a Baba Ball. Kwam Yasharallah.